What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review today, bringing you a game from the America's Tacticians Cup. So now that there's the Tier 1 circuit, this is the premier tournament in the Tier 2 circuit, which, you might say, oh, it's the Tier 2 circuit, it's a bunch of noobs, but I mean, literally look at our top 8 here. FanTheQiQi, Liquid Art, also known as Kai Wang, Faransby, Kiyun, Dank Memes, T-Lied, Slice Down, HSK, I mean, Altenahue down here, Ripple Overdrive in here. I mean, a lot of very, very high elo players. Not everybody. There's 32 people in the pro circuit. Not everybody can make it to the pro circuit, and so this is still very, very high quality competition. And I mean, going into days 2 and 3, it's going to be even higher. But I want to talk about the player who dominated day 1, won out overall, 43 points, scores first, second, fifth, and then first to finish out the day. I mean, that is a insane score line. And FanTheQiQi, it's not a player that I've never actually VOD reviewed him before, but he's a player who plays on the LAS server. He's from Argentina. I've seen the name around. He has played in 2 world championships before, so this guy is not like a noob by any means. This guy is kind of a seasoned, very high elo, one of LAS's best. And he absolutely smurfed this tournament day. I mean, he played 6 different comps across all the games, a lot of different cool reroll lines, honestly. But I want to talk about the comp that he played this game because it is an interesting one. It is one that I've seen a lot of buzz around. A lot of people have said that it is quite broken. And so, yeah, we'll get to it actually very, very soon. But we start off with this Gnar Golden Edge opener. I do think this is obviously a bit weaker now that Ashe is just a weaker comp. You're really not that hyped to play into Ashe these days. And so, I mean, honestly, if I'm looking at this spot here, I'm a little worried because there's no obvious reroll line in this spot yet. There is something that gives us an obvious reroll line though here. And that is Worth the Wait. It'll give us some kind of one cost to play around. I love Worth the Wait this set just because there are so many. I mean, if you hit Kale, if you hit either of the crew units, you kind of have this like insane hit, and then a lot of the other one costs are like totally acceptable to play into things like verticals. So I, in general, like Worth the Wait a lot here, and would just pick it over these two. I haven't talked so much about kind of like the patch holistically, but we are in very much a reroll patch, and the comp that we're going to play today is no stranger to that. That's not really me using the phrase correctly, but it is a comp that involves reroll, but kind of different from normal here. So we take Worth the Wait here. We hit Lucian, which is already, I mean, a pretty okay-ish hit. We power him up here and we grab Killer Instinct for now. And yeah, we are just going to sit on this setup for now. So Lucian, it's kind of interesting. Worth the Wait Lucian, historically, you can play it into vertical Sorks, and it feels fine. FanTheQiQi is going for more of a vertical mech type setup, I do think, especially just with Sorks feeling worse. And I mean, they don't even feel much better this patch, which is so sad because you really want them to feel strong. You want it to be a strong line. But I do think, I mean, you can't. You're not excited about it whatsoever. But mech actually got a lot better this patch. Vertical mech, if you can make it there. The mech itself got buffed, and there is actually a new power-up, which we're going to be seeing later this game. Spoiler alert. That puts a lot of power into this comp, and it requires very specific circumstances to be able to be played, but I mean, this is the exact circumstance. You really want to, okay, it's Drift Duo. If you guys haven't seen the power-up yet, we don't have it onto our Lucian yet, but it's a power-up that can go onto Lucian, or it can go onto Senna, and it buffs up your Lucian and Senna. It gives them both mana gen, and then it says if you hit both of them 3-star, you get +1 mech. Which is actually really, really, really crucial for this board because 7 mech is fantastic. Anything less than 7 mech, I mean, obviously you can play it into Rise and stuff like that, but if your game plan is play mech and then you don't hit 7 mech, you have a horrible time, essentially. And so to play mech, you need to get to 7 mech. But to get to 7 mech, you need to hit a Yone normally, except you can get this +1 from Drift Duo. So that is the idea, at least. Item-wise here off Carousel, I mean, I would just take a JG here. It's a little rough here. He's going to take the bow here, looking for, I imagine the belt here. I imagine this is for Nashor's here, but we'll see here. He removes his power up. He prays for it and does not hit it. That is all right. I'm a fan of this guy. We opt to take a Robo Ranger for now. I mean, we aren't even playing mech right now. That's quite surprising to me that we took this. But I mean, I guess he's saying that we are going to get mech in quite soon, hopefully. But yeah, I'm actually kind of. Wow. Oh my God, that is a crazy call here from FanTheQiQi. So I mean, here we can look at it here. He sold his Lucian 2 just to try to guarantee Drift Duo here. And yeah, so this is Drift Duo. Senna and Lucian both gain 3 mana regen. If both are 3-star, then you get +1 mighty mech, which is really, really big. I'm blown away by that sell here, but I mean, it does make sense from the perspective of we really do want to get to this power up. We essentially need this power up. I probably would have favored just waiting until, I mean, you wait 2 rounds until minions, like you could just take critical strike there, wait 2 rounds into minions. Yeah, he's kind of losing his mind a little bit at the play as well, because I mean, we're still going to get to Lucian 3. That's the nice thing, but we're going to get to it 3 rounds later. Yeah, I don't know if I can co-sign this play here from FanTheQiQi here, but I mean, it shows you the priority that he does, want on this. We do end up making the Nash Wars onto the Lucian. Nasher's a completely different item than it once was. Now it is a kind of crit and mana gen item. It's kind of like Shojin plus crit, interestingly enough. And you really want to get to max crit when you are playing around this, just so that you can kind of guarantee that you're getting the extra mana on autos from Nashers here. We do pick up a Senna who's really, really nice, obviously, because we have Drift Duo. This is going to allow us to play 3 mech immediately, so that's really nice. And yeah, I mean, back to 6 solutions. I mean, not too bad, honestly, from the perspective of, making it there. So yeah. Item-wise here, GS is, I think every person I've looked at has said GS is a broken item. And yeah, I do think we are going to make this here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I will say, I did this a little bit. I was thinking about streaming, and then I honestly just like went down this rabbit hole of like trying to find this way where I can like scrape high elo players VODs just for like things that they talk about. Let's look at Augment here, and then I can yap a little bit more about my process here. Is it really, I mean, I could see Rolling for Days, actually. I mean, I don't really like either of the other 2 augments that much. And if he takes Rolling for Days, I think we can talk about it as an idea here. I mean, it's not corrosion. Yeah, okay. Rolling for Days, certainly, right? I'm not taking augmented power here, really. Yeah, okay. Okay. So we take Rolling for Days here. We can actually level and put the Kale back in. But yeah, so I fell down this rabbit hole of like trying to basically like scrape the high elo players VODs for all of the text, and then searching that text based on a few queries. And I came to something pretty decent. I mean, it's nothing like too crazy here. I can actually show you my first like sheet that I created for this. So it's a few VODs long, but I'm searching for them talking about what stuff that is broken. So stuff like Perfect Form, Giant Slayer, Drift Duo, Max Attack, Caitlyn, Malzahar, Jinx, as a potential comp, 6 heavy Malzahar, Tiny Team. Like there's definitely stuff that is common in here, but there's also stuff that's like not so common. And then also talking about stuff that's like kind of weak, good power ups and things like that. So yeah, I mean, this is my first swing at it, but I actually think it came out kind of nicely. I think I'm gonna share this with like my my Metafy group as just like another perk for people who sub over there. That's what I'm thinking. And I might do this every day or at least pretty regularly, and then just post it over there. So if you guys are interested, check out the Metafy group. But it's I mean, I did this because like you can make it through like 20-30 hours of VODs in like an hour. And obviously you're not getting the full value of looking at the VODs, but you do just get like quick takes from people like I'm looking at like Wage and Iverson, Dish Soap, people like that. And so it does give you like very quick access to just like the stuff that Wage and Iverson and Dish Soap think that's broken. And if you're like just jumping straight into a patch and you haven't been able to do, I mean, like Giant Slayer got buffed this patch, and the opinion of basically everyone that I've looked at is that this item is just broken now. Like you build it in almost every single circumstance, and so that's the idea here. Gonna have to take Sunfire here. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Drift Duo. We saw up here in that sheet a decent bit, but the thing that Wage and Iverson specifically said about Drift Duo is that it is broken if you make it there, but obviously, it's difficult to make it there, right? You need to find both Lucian 3 and Senna 3. So you really need a very high econ, portal or opener. I do think this double econ setup worth the wait plus Rolling for Days is exactly what we want in this kind of spot. Because yeah, if you make it to Lucian 3, Senna 3, you are disgustingly strong. But it's hard to make it there. So what do? We take double econ augment. Worth the wait is probably the single best augment for this comp because it just teleports you to Lucian 3 from a gold augment without putting any gold into it, which is just disgusting. So yeah. The other thing that that Wage and Iverson did say about this comp, maybe it's not a surprise to anybody, is that you do want to look for Socialite in this comp. His take on it was that Senna is just not, she just doesn't have great power-ups. They're just units in TFT where their power-up pool is just kind of weak for what the unit wants to do. And so this was his ideas that, yeah, you kind of just like don't really, I'm also going to turn my music up because I realized it was really low this entire VOD, but it's fine. Who cares? Anybody watching the, so tell me in the comments down below if you're watching the VOD for the music. But yeah, the idea is that just Senna power-ups, they're just really not it. Honestly, there's just nothing on her that feels amazing, and so you'd feel a lot better Socialite. And I love this. I love this. Sell the Aatrox for an Aatrox 1 to dig for Socialite. This is so important when you're playing this comp, to just give yourself the better odds of finding Socialite, because if you miss on Socialite, your life kind of sucks. All right, let's roll down here for certainly 5 mech is the dream here, I must imagine. Going to be a little while before we find a Senna 3. Also, kind of an awkward first circle there, but not the end of the world. We do hit Senna 2 there. We do have 5 mech, but don't quite get it in. Gonna take a blue buff here, throw it onto Senna. I mean, Gargoyle. Oh, Evan's Shroud actually is going to be the slam here, and then we're going to sit on this. I mean, yeah, Gargoyle actually kind of terrible in this comp. I don't know why I suggested that, because like you aren't playing for a primary tank, or items are great. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. All right, well, 90 HP, very, very strong here. Last augment here, Mace's Will, easy pickup, I would say. It lets you make the JG. It's crit onto Senna. I mean, it must be Mace as well, right? Yeah, I mean, it must be. All right. I imagine we're going to pivot the board into 5 mech here, but we'll see here. And yep, the 5 mech pivot comes in. Udyr, a pretty nice extra unit on this board just because he is, traits that don't matter all that much, but Juggernaut and Duelist and Mentor onto this board. And then we're still playing this Zac right now. Yeah, you can fit Rise on this board as well. I mean, you want to fit Executioner, I think, certainly. I think when Weishan was talking about this board, his idea was like Poppy Rise, I think. For you just play a heavyweight, you play Poppy as your front line, and then you play Rise as your Executioner. So we'll see if that's what FanTheQiQi wants to go for here, or if he wants to look for something else here. Going to continue to roll down here, obviously digging for our Senna the Third here. Like I said, I mean, that is our high priority, and we're going to sit on this board for now. I mean, still, like, heavyweight's not bad on our board, certainly, at all here on the... And we aren't going to fit Executioner in yet. I mean, to be fair, in this variant where we haven't hit Senna 3 yet, Executioner is not that important. Gonna lose to Kaisa here. He's gonna give Kurt Angle the triple thumbs up for some. I mean, just because I mean that's a pretty good Kaisa spot. Giga million streaking, double econ augment as well. Yeah, we are truly in a reroll patch. We can track how many reroll people top 4 this lobby, but I won't be shocked if it's a lot. Finish off probably Senna item here. I mean, it would be another GS ideally, but we can't really get to that. Okay, maybe just take Bramble Vest and live with it. I mean, it seems decent enough, and it's onto a 5 cost, which doesn't feel bad at all. So yeah, it just does feel kind of bad that it's stuck onto a Zac Tua. That just doesn't seem great, but we will continue to chill here. The downside to our kind of crazy Lucian self-play earlier is also that we are very far away from Lucian 4. It is going to take us a long time to get there. Another 13 rounds to make it there, which is going to put us at the end of stage 6 reaching it. I mean, it's possible. It's very, very possible to get there, but it feels bad when we would have had it like mid-stage 6 otherwise, but that's life. 6 Senna's here. I don't think we, really need to roll like deep here. I think you can just sit and kind of guarantee that you're going to hit. He also opts to finally make this swap over now that we have the Udyr 2. Just going to get the Zyra in as the +1. And so, yeah, it looks like he does value the Udyr. I mean, to be fair, I don't think you can really make the pivot into Rise here because what's your front line going to be? Like I said, the Weishan idea of like Poppy makes a lot of sense if you can get to Poppy 2. But without Poppy 2, you kind of need to play this guy as your front line. So I think this is actually a very... Wow, he's going to give up on the Lucian 4 idea. I mean, like I said, 13 rounds. It's a long time. It's not impossible by any means. But I mean, once again, the kind of unifying theme here is you must hit Senna, and I think he's getting a little bit afraid, dropping down to 60 HP, thinking, I could actually like lose some of these fights and be kind of weak here. I mean, I guess it does have to be IE Oh, is it going to be IQSS? Blech. QSS is one of those items where, okay, let's roll down for Senate. I mean, why am I acting like I need to not commentate? Because I'm going to like tilt him by talking. Okay, and this is going to be our final form here. Going to get the seven mighty mech after we hit the Senna. It's kind of funny. We're playing 2 out of 1 mecha here. So I do think we'd like to find a replacement, and very, very happy about hitting this board. I mean, it's not the worst. 2 out of 1 mentor. Obviously, you lose the mentor bonus. Like, it's not preferable, but I mean, I do think this is probably what we play here. I mean, I guess, to be fair, you probably would just play Katarina here over Rise is the idea, I guess, and then you still get Executioner in, but you're not losing out on these bonuses. So I think that should be our board here, but I think we're a little bit lost in the sauce here. But we've made it to the board, which is the big upside here. And yeah, you can actually see the board that he's putting in there, which is just going to play into, I mean, on level 8, you have 2 open slots, right? So he has, what does he have on that planner, actually? Because he's got Rise, and then he's Lee Sin as well. I mean, Lee Sin, a great fit as well. I just feel like the board might lack a little frontline then, but I mean, you have a giant mech, so who needs frontline, I guess, at that point, and you just put the tank items up to Jarvan. Yeah, I could certainly see this being the setup. So no Poppy. I mean, okay, I will do a stats check here, actually, for Lucian 3, Senna 3, and see what the stats of Poppy say, because I do... I think Weijin maybe played a game of this and ended up playing it. Lucian 3, Senna 4, there's no stats for it, by the way. Yeah, Poppy has amazing stats on this board. Wow. I mean, Lucian also has amazing, or not Lucian, but Lee Sin also has amazing stats. So I think the answer is you play Rise, and then you play either Lee Sin or Poppy if you get there. I mean, Volibear doesn't even have bad stats, weirdly enough. I mean, Braum Voli is a nice little combo that I guess you can play on this board, just because, I mean, yeah, no, that seems fake. I think that's for a different variant of the comp here. So yeah, it must be Rise +1, which is probably, I mean, it's Poppy too if you hit it, certainly. All right, gonna take Guard Breaker here. Just very solid last item. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say is that the opinions that I have I've scraped from very, very good players is that Quicksilver is not a very good item. After the changes to it, you are just not excited to build this whatsoever. Items really moving around here. Yeah, we are going to move the GS. And yeah, the QSS is going to move up. It's going to have to go on like a random frontliner. Yeah, GP, a little bit tragic. But yeah, the Nash is actually moving over to the Senna here. I mean, I do think, I'm not that sure that Nashor should be amazing onto Lucian. I mean, the stats like it pretty well. It's just the idea is that, like, I feel like he's casting so much that, I mean, he's not autoing all that much, but opts to just move it over to the Senna here, just giving her, this is max crit, and this is what you really want to. This makes a lot of sense, right? Whoever has the Nashers wants to get to 100% crit so that you're just guaranteeing farming that extra mana on every single auto. And so we kind of have to do this setup here where, you know, the unit that has Nashers must also have the Guard Breaker. And that means, I mean, with blue buff, that we can just put blue buff onto Lucian and then do this GS JG setup. I think this makes perfect sense, actually, from that perspective. Oh, and actually, wow, he's going to play just random Ziggs on this board. This is the setup. I mean, yuck. I mean, I think, I mean, it is 3 strategists. 3 strat is pretty weak, and now we find the Lee Sin, which is huge here. And he's gonna play it as Jug. Oh, I thought he was gonna play as Executioner. Though there is also an idea that, you know, what, 3 strat, 3 Executioner, quite weak, just kind of like in the amount of stats that they give. Once you get to either of them to like 4, they're really, really nice, but 3 is actually kind of a power trough in those traits. So that must be his thought, is that there's actually not that much value in 3 Executioner on this board, when we could just play 2 Juggernaut and make the board like a decent bit tankier. Ooh, finally pick up a Yon here, so we can just play that over the GP, I think. But he's actually gonna say that GP2 is better than Yon 1. Yeah, no, there's no way. I think this must be it. Also, we're frontlining the Karma here, just because, like, I mean, what's 0 item Karma doing? I mean, she can be bait. That is all that she can be, so this makes sense. So yeah, I like this. Also, the QSS, I mean, on backliners, I think this item is quite bad, but getting the extra, obviously, CC immunity is not bad at all. All right, we get kind of wrecked here. We're gonna swap over to Executioner Lee Sin now. Looks like he kind of thought better of it eventually. I do think once we level 4, what I imagine would be just this Katarina here, and you get 4 Executioner in. I think it is definitely Lee Sin, but maybe he's got something else in mind that he's going to play here. We will see here. But I mean, Obviously, 34 HP, top 3 already locked in. Basically top 2 locked in at this point, unless some very strange stuff happens. And we also are just kind of deleting these units on this heavyweight Malzahar board. Man, we would hope that it could be a double kill here, but it cannot. So we are still, very strong here. Not going to hold the Katarina, interestingly. I thought that was going to be our next in here, but I mean, maybe he'll play something else. All right. I mean, lastly, Sin item, right? I.e. Shojin? Oh, Shojin. Shojin and then move it. Oh, huh. I mean, I guess she does. She already has enough crit from Executioner that she's already at 100% crit. So I guess this is fine. He's gonna love for Ziggs. I do think it was probably a miss to not play Katarina here. I think Katarina is quite stronger than Ziggs here. But I mean, still, I think the board is quite strong, and I do think we have a pretty decent matchup into this guy. When Jarvan stuns here, we just have to. It seems very positioning reliant, honestly. You just need to focus down. Like that fight where he focused down the Darius was huge here. Do you even make Rise too? There's a Kali. I mean, he's actually gonna opt to play the Ziggs over the Akali. He thinks it's stronger. Interesting. I mean, yeah, I really I heard from, it was actually on the Brosif co-stream, this idea that, yeah, the amount of stats that you just jump from, like you just do not play 3 strategists because it is quite weak stats wise. So I guess FanTheQiQi disagrees here. Gonna take a loss here. Didn't really look like a 4 strategist diff, honestly. It kind of just looked like that comp is broken, and it certainly is. It certainly is, man. On the reroll patch, I mean, getting to get just, I mean, I said it was the strongest reroll comp. Somebody in my YouTube comments said, it can't be the strongest reroll comp because Wei Iverson went 3rd with it. And then I banned that person for life. No, I actually didn't because I'm very generous, but also like, shut up, man. All right, rolling down here. Find set 2 here, which is going to be the end here. Just to get some extra frontline onto the board, actually, over the Ziggs. I don't mind it. Should pop Anvil here. TG set seems fine. All right, we have the Senna in front of the Darius here. The Lucian might, he doesn't redirect in time. Yeah, and so we are going to take a loss here. Still a very, very solid top 2 that shows the power of this drifty duo here. I mean, just such a cool setup, and if you make it there, I think it is fantastically strong. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, my Metafy. Like I said, I am going to be posting this sheet and then probably future sheets to my Metafy group. So go follow it, subscribe to it if you're interested, and you get discounted coaching. It's kind of a, and you get access to coaching VODs. Is this the greatest value on the internet? No, the greatest value on the internet is using your Twitch Prime subscription on my channel. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.